guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Bob.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to do a review of Football Feud. In this game, we've got a big old deck of cards, and they're going to have either they're going to be like rushing or passing cards, and they range from 0 to 60 yards. And what we're trying to do is this is like a poker style game, right? So you're going to draw 7 cards. You can discard as many as you want, redraw back up to 7, and then to try to get the 5 that you want to play.
Best 5 card hand you can make.
And then, with that, then you're going to play it down, and you're going to total up all of the yardage in your hand, and you're going to try to get to at least 100 yards. 100 yards is going to get you a touchdown, 7 points. For every 100 yards you can score, that's another touchdown. There are field goal cards in there, which will add 3 points. If you can play 3 of a kind, basically same suit, same yardage, that's going to automatically give you 100 yards in addition to the yards provided on that card. So if I played these 310 rush yards, that's 130 yards, right? 10, 10, 10 plus 100. Mm-hmm. If you played 3 zeros, that's 100 yards.
Yeah.
So super important to
So to keep in mind, the Euros aren't just junk cards because there's a lot of them in there, and you get 3 of them. That's 100 yards right there. It's a touchdown.
Same thing with like the passing yards. They work the same way. There are also big play cards. There's some for the running backs and there's some for the quarterbacks. So the running backs are going to double the yardage on your played rush cards. So if you've got that 3 of a kind, then it doubles. So that 130 then becomes 260 with that card.
Big play.
Yeah, that's a big play, right? And then the same thing with the quarterback. It works the same way
with the passing yards.
With the passing yards. There are 4 mean, nasty cards in this deck, and they are numbered 1, 2, and 3, and 4 because it's going to tell you the order in which they resolve in case multiple ones come out in the same round, which is super smart. I really appreciate that because that just removes all
any kind of argument. Who had first player?
Argument.
Who was this? What's the number on it?
Yes.
1? Go first.
So number 1 is interception, right? So you're going to take that card, any card that a player has played, and you're going to basically add it to your own played cards, which is then going to increase your yardage or maybe give you field goals.
Decrease their yardage.
Which is super important. But it may also give you a big old combo that you need to then score your points. There's 2 sack cards. They're numbered 2 and 3 in case they both come up at the same time. A sack card means basically somebody's going to have 40 less yards for each sack card played against them. So, again, you're trying to knock your opponents down under that 100-yard threshold, while you can kind of try to keep yours up so you can keep scoring those points. And then the last one is a fumble, which is really mean and can mess people up because what a fumble does is on the next turn, they cannot discard and replace cards in the next quarter.
Yep. Stuck with what you got.
You're stuck with what you got. Because what's going to happen is we're going to choose 5 cards to play. We're going to put them down. We'll reveal them. We resolve them. We still have 2 cards in our pocket right here. And so all those cards go away. We shuffle, redistribute. So you're going to get 5 more cards. So you go up to 7 cards. And then, so you're going to get those 5 cards. You're going to take those 2 that you already had. And then you're going to choose how many of those you want to keep. Well, if somebody fumbles, you don't get to, you're just stuck with what you got, and you got to make the best 5 out of that. Then the game is going to go for 4 quarters. So you're going to play 4 rounds of that.
Makes sense.
And then, right? And high score wins. And that's really the whole game.
Yep.
It's very straightforward to teach and learn. This is, I guess, a variation on poker, right? If we talk about just like,
sure.
I mean, it's scaffolded on poker rules.
Yeah.
Except it's just adding.
But you're just, you're building hands. You're playing those hands, but they score differently.
There's some mechanisms you would find in poker, but I would not necessarily. Maybe poker adjacent.
Yeah. It says like a distant cousin.
It's poker's second cousin.
Maybe even third.
Maybe even third. By marriage.
By marriage. Your third cousin's roommate.
That's right. Well, what does that make us then? Absolutely nothing.
But, all right, so Spencer, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you thought about Football Feud?
All right, well, first I'm going to do my little plug. I wrote a book. It's an urban fantasy. It's called A Sinister Love. There's going to be more information at the end of this video, so check it out. And
Football Feud.
Very, very simple. Yet actually, like, if you're sitting around watching football and, the commercial break comes on, you've got to
You
Fumble
could
for the
play
commercial
this
break.
during halftime.
Oh my
Easily.
god, easy. Oh yeah, twice.
Almost during like the 2-minute warning, because that's like an
Shoot.
extended commercial break. You could probably knock a game out.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's almost too easy for me, but for a lot of people, this is like perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, this is like to me almost a beer and pretzels type of game.
Yes.
You know, people hanging out on a weekend. You can introduce this to like a lot of people who don't play a lot of heavy board games because, like we were saying, it does have some familiar mechanisms. These cards aren't very good. I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm gonna draw some new cards, try to make a better hand. I think a lot of the nomenclature will make sense to people who know football, which is a lot of people who. So that kind of helps to relate it to something that people know and get, and that will help. I mean, the little meeples are interesting. You got little quarterbacks with a football and whatnot, like so better than just a standard meeple.
Right. Yeah, that's fun. They got shapes.
But yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. I would like to see maybe more cards, like more of the interaction cards, because only
sure.
being
Yeah.
the 4, like we didn't see. We saw them all. They all did come out.
They
which
did
was
all
good.
come out, and I do feel like they all affected the game
They definitely
They
did.
did.
in a big way.
Which
So
is why
I
I
think
would
that's
like
why
to
they're
see
so
more.
limited. But I think that's why they're so limited.
Sure, yeah.
Because
the fumble played on me was very debilitating.
That probably cost you the game.
That probably did cost me.
Yeah,
no, that
because you only
definitely cost
lost
me
by
the
a
game.
couple of points, and
Yeah.
the fact that you were unable to optimize that last hand.
I can't remember. I think I got 6 points because I had
Two field goal
goals.
and otherwise
Yeah.
I would have had a really. But no.
Yeah, but it felt pretty balanced. Like even at the end there, I was falling behind, but then I got a big last hand. 'Cause I was like, I'll believe it when I see it.
It was
And I
within
saw it.
3 points.
Everybody
Yeah,
was
it was
within
very
3
close
points.
game.
Everybody's in 3 points.
So it was pretty close. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything you guys just said. This is a really fun beer and pretzels kind of game. It's good introductory level game because I feel like if people are interested in football, there's enough football references and things that's going to make sense to them that you
Right.
could pull them in. If they're familiar with poker, which most people are at least familiar with basic poker.
Right.
And this is even easier because...
Yeah, you're not worried about a royal
Trying to
flush
figure
or
out what the-
anything
what
like
the
that.
hands
are,
yeah.
Right. So again, that's another way to kind of pull people in. The game is so fast. The scoring is very straightforward. I appreciated all of that. And again, yeah, we were joking, but yeah, you could play it during halftime or 2-minute warning and play. I mean, at least 2 quarters. But no, really fun. I appreciated what it is. Not everything's got to be like a 3.5 weight. So for a very lightweight game, I mean, this would travel easy. This is an awesome filler game. You could play it. What I appreciate for a filler game, because not a lot of filler games always do this, but the high player count, right? So you can play this up to 6 players.
Oh wow.
So you
That'd be
and
crazy.
it would get crazy,
Yeah.
and I still think it's a pretty fast game.
Yeah.
I mean, with 3 of us, yes, we could play it during a 2-minute warning. But 6 players, maybe you need
halftime.
halftime, which is like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I really think that like for what it does, it's really good at what it does. I think it accomplishes its goal. If what we're saying sounds good to you or appealing to you, like I would just say get this game because it's a really nice little game that can fit in your collection and it's going to appeal to a lot of people. We should rate this game. Bob,
That's me.
how do we rate games at the Board Game Rundown?
Great question, Tim. So here at the Board Game Rundown, we're going to give it a score between 0 and 10. We do use 0.5s for a little bit of variance. But then we're going to take those scores, we're going to average them together, and then there'll be that one score that we put on BGG, Discord, things like that, where you find what the Board Game Rundown gave it.
Right on. Spencer.
Yeah. I am going to say it's fine. It's not quite my cup of tea. I'm going to give this a 7.
Bob. I stretched that out for you. So
Thank
could
you.
get the
Appreciate that.
calculator
Yeah. So, yeah, the way I roll it is Tim has it. I don't need to have my own copy, but I would still actively ask to play this game. So for me, it is a 6.5.
Okay. This is an 8.5 for me because I will play the crap out of this game. There's a good chance I could wear this game out because I will take this specifically to Thanksgiving while there's football on and everybody's eating. And there's people that will play this that don't want to play heavy games. They don't want to learn a lot of games with like a lot of rules overhead and stuff. So this is a game I could wear out. So for me, that's an 8.5.
All right. So just to recap, Tim, you gave it an 8.5,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Spencer, you gave it a
7.
Okay. And my 6.5.
Uh-huh.
That's where I messed up at. And we're going to divide that by 3.
This is math.
It's math. 7.3.
There we go.
Not too bad.
Spencer probably already did that in his head.
He probably did. He could have just told me so I don't look like a bumbling idiot on my phone.
You're doing fine. We love it. Anyways, I think we all had a good time.
Yeah.
It's just the value that you would assign to this game for your own personal collection. So yeah, take what we said, do what you will with it, right?
That's right.
All right. Anybody have anything else they want to add other than, yes, of course, please stay tuned and check out Spencer's little advertisement after the video. Other than that, for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I'm Spencer.
I got sacked.
Touchdown! We'll see you next time.
And you can say the title's only 3 words.
Would you go through hell for love? I did. Literally. I'm Scribble, an imp sent to Earth to tempt a human named Paul. But the impossible happened. We fell in love. Along the way, I stumbled into a fiendish plot threatening creation itself. Now, half of hell is after me, a demon prince is on the rampage, and Paul has disappeared. Only an act of love can get me through this. But what if that means giving up love itself?